Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Karibuni tena kwa channel yetu Mind Mastery Tutor. Welcome once again to our channel. Now, as usual, we're going to study now we're going to finish this mock paper that we did last time, but we hadn't yet finished. We just passed through the section 2 part, and then currently we're in section 1, so we're going to finish section 1 today. So kindly stay tuned in and watch it till the end of the session, because you'll be catching up with interesting stuffs or topics. So kama kawaida yetu, usisahau kusubscribe. Namba yangu ya simu ni hii, and as for others, especially, so this is just a disclaimer for those watching or following up with this channel. So we'll be currently posting mock papers, a lot of mock papers, but we'll be going bit by bit. So kwa mfano tukiingia section B, tutafanya each question after each question, so one question at a time, so that the videos doesn't become too lengthy. So stay tuned in for that. As for the topical question, I have to pause it for a bit, but still you'll be getting those topical questions from this mock papers. So with that, also don't forget to subscribe, and also we're going to have tuition during this 3-week holiday program. So also, if you want to enroll, my number is up there. For those that are interested, especially grade 7 to 9, I'll tutor them as well. We'll have other tutors as well that will be helping, that will be with me as well in that tuition program. So let's continue, and don't forget that our rates are affordable. Si bei za juu shanga. Okay, so under section 1 we have question 1. So section 1, just like usual, we have 50 marks, and all of those marks are quite easy to get. So question 1 yauliza, given that x equal to 48.5 centimeter and y equal to 30.2 centimeter are both measured correct to the nearest millimeter, calculate the greatest percentage error in x minus y. So paka hapo, I think that is very easy. So let's start. Now this is about approximation error, which is taught in when you are in Form 3. So the question is asking you about calculating the greatest percentage error. Okay, so but for now, let's find out what is the error in each of those numbers, that is the x and y. So the accuracy level here is to the nearest millimeters, so which is around 0.1 centimeter. So if you want to find its error, so it's just 0.1 multiplied by a half. So utachukua 0.1 divided by 2 to give you 0.05. So you either add or minus 0.05 from each of these numbers. So let's start with x. Now x value is 48.5 centimeters. Okay, so if you wanted to find out what is maximum, then you just add 0.05 to it. So 48.5 plus 0.05 gives you 48.55. For the minimum value, subtract 0.05 from 48.5, so you get 48.45. So that's the maximum and minimum value for 48.5. So then we go to the y value. The y value is 30.2, so the maximum will be 30.25, and the minimum will be, or should be, 30.15. Okay, now the question is asking you to calculate the percentage error in x minus y. Okay, first there's the actual difference. We want to find out the actual difference because this is what will help us to find the percentage error. So the actual difference is just the difference of x, the actual values of x and y. So we just take 48.5 minus 30.2 gives you 12. If I'm not wrong, it should not be 12, but it should be 18. It should give you 18.3. So doesn't matter for 18.3. Now let's draw a number line, okay, so that I can fully tell you. Just a moment. Okay, I was confirming something. So let's draw a number line, a normal number line. Okay, let's say paka hapa. Okay, now 48.5 iko hapa, umeona, na 30.2 iko hapa. Now its maximum values, minimum values yake utaona maximum ya 30.2 iko hapa, minimum ya 48.5 iko hapa. Maximum ya 48.5 iko hapa, minimum ya 30.2 iko hapa. So if one was to ask you how will you find the maximum difference, usually take the maximum of this minus the minimum of this to give you a larger difference. Ikiwa umeuliza tafuta the minimum difference, then you just take the minimum of x minus the maximum of y. So, but for this case, since it's asking you about the greatest difference, so you need to find what's the maximum difference. So, maximum difference yetu ni ngapi? So, which is the maximum of x, ambao ni 48.55 minus the minimum of y, which is 30.15, and your answer should give you around 18.4. Okay, that's the maximum difference. Now we need to find what our absolute error is. Our absolute error for this case is your maximum minus the actual. Okay, so maximum absolute error is your maximum minus the actual. So your maximum being 18.4 minus 18.3, and it should give you 0.1. Okay, so if you want to calculate the greatest percentage error, therefore you do absolute error over the actual difference multiplied by 100. So absolute error is 0.1 divided by its actual difference, which is the 18.3. Okay, 18.3 multiplied to 100. Okay, chukua calculator yako. Let's take 0.1 times 8 divide by 18.3 and then multiply by 100. It should give you around 0.5464% to 4 significant figure, guys. So then mpaka hapo tumeelewana. So with that, let's go to the next question. Now the next question is about quadratic perfect square, which is quadratic 2. So question 2, find the value of c for which 2x squared minus 10x plus 5 plus c is a perfect square. So very easy question. So remember that your expression for quadratic, or your quadratic expression, should be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, in which a, b, and c are usually coefficients. Okay, c is a constant, a and b are also constants. So now if you write 2x squared minus 10x plus 5 plus c, you need to ask yourself, what is your a, what is your b, what is your c? For this case, our a is 2, our b is negative 10, and our c is not c, but instead it should be 5 plus c. So now we don't have our c there, so we use this formula, which is b squared equal to 4ac. For a perfect square, you use this formula, b squared equal to 4ac. you know what is our b squared, so you take negative 10 squared equal to 4 times a, 4 times 2, multiply to our c, which is 5 plus c. Okay, now negative 10 squared should give you 100, which is equal to 4 times 2, which is 8, multiply to 5 plus c, open up the bracket, so you still multiply 8 to 5, which gives you 40, and 8 to c, which gives you 8c. Okay, then subtract 40. Okay, so you put the 40 the other side, it becomes negative, so you just remain with 8c. So and then you get 60, which is equal to 8c. So then divide by 8, and you get your answer C to be, you get your answer C to be 7.5. So you can confirm using a calculator. So ni rahisi sana, so ni itakupa 7.5. So wanafunzi wengi hapo wa confuse C with that C ambayo iko pale kwenye your expression. So people just imagine this to be our C rather than the whole thing is our C for quadratic expression. So but the C yenyewe is 7.5. The C ambayo iko kwenye quadratic expression will be 5 plus 7.5, which is 12.5. But for this case tumeulizwa to find C in that expression. Okay, question 3, solve the equation which is log base 10x minus 15 equal to 2 minus log base 10 x. So very simple question with a simple formula. So before we proceed, remember that we have basic rules for logarithm. So the first rule being this one, log a base a will always equal to 1. Okay, will always be equal to 1. Even if you put 2 log a base a, since log a base a is 1, then 1 times 2 gives you 2. Okay, the second rule is a log b, and let's say base c is just equal to log b base c raised to power a. Ile a ambayo iko nyuma ya log itakuwa power ya b. So and the third one is subtraction. So if you have log b base a minus log c base a, okay, no, is it, should it be like this? Yeah, but in case, yeah, so it gives you, it will be equivalent to log base a b over c. So I think it's very easy to understand, and to implement it will be much easier. So the first rule, since the question itself zote ziko na log apart from 2, so that 2 tutaibadilisha kuwa log a base a, but remember kutakuwa na 2 nyuma yake, so utaandika log base 10x minus 15 is equal to 2 log 10 base 10. So the 10 base 10 is 1. If you multiply by 2, gives you this 2 minus log x base 10, and then we continue. The 2 becomes the power, just like we stated in the second rule. So itakuwa ni log base 10, 10 to the power of 2, and 10 to the power of 2 is just 100. So minus log base 10x. So then we have subtraction. Now under subtraction tulisema itakuwa ni division under the third rule. So itakuwa ni log base 10 100 over x is equal to log base 10 x minus 15. Now we have logs on both sides, so we drop those logs. We don't cancel them, so don't confuse the two terms. There's a difference between cancellation and dropping them, or making them out. So you just drop them and you just take x minus 15, which is equivalent to 100 over x. So then you multiply by x to remove the denominator. So multiply by x. So x times x gives you x squared, and x times negative 15 gives you negative 15x equal to 100. So the x cancels out. So collect the like terms. So x squared minus 15x minus 100 equal to 0, so that your equation should always be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So then we continue from there, and you use something called sum product to find for the value of x. So our summation is the number which is in the middle, so which is negative 15. Our product is just negative 100. 1 times negative 100 gives you negative 100. So which are the two numbers that if I multiply gives me negative 100, if I add them gives me negative 15, and those two numbers are negative 20 and 5. So when you're factorizing them, it is quite easy, because if the coefficient for x squared is just 1, you factorize it like this way with the help of those two terms, which is negative 20 and 5. So you write the first factor for the first bracket will include x minus 20, and the second one will have x plus 5, which is equal to 0. That's how you factorize it when the coefficient for x squared is 1. So you take x minus 20 equal to 0, so your first x will be equal to 20. As for the other x plus 5, which is equivalent to 0, so x becomes negative 5 if you put it, if you bring it to the other side of the equation. So your x values are just 2. So let me just write them. So your x1 is 20, and your x2 is negative 5. But make sure you use make sure that you confirm your answers. So for example, you have negative 5. Sometimes it doesn't satisfy the equation, so therefore you need to substitute it to the original equation. Now if I substitute negative 5 to the original equation, I find it that it's already satisfied and doesn't have any error in it. So therefore our x values are only 2, which is 20 and negative 5. So 3 marks are bure na tunasonga hivyo. So question 4, simplify 10 over root 5 minus 2 minus 5 over root 5 without using a calculator, giving you answer in the form a plus b root c, where a, b and c are integers. So there are two methods of answering such questions. You either rationalize them at the beginning, or you just subtract them. You subtract the two fractions with the LCM there, then you rationalize it at the end. For me, I prefer to just subtract with the LCM and then rationalize it at the end. So mwanzo watafuta LCM ya hizi fraction mbili, na LCM ya hizi mbili is just the product of these two. So you just take root 5 minus 2 multiply to root 5, which is very easy. And then you take these two products and divide it by root 5 minus 2. Utapata kuwa root 5 minus 2 ita cancel out, and you just remain with root 5, and the root 5 is the one that is going to be multiplied to 10. So root 5 times 10, root 5 times 10 is 10 root 5. And the next thing is root 5 minus 2 na root 5. If you divide by root 5 ndo itaondoka, so you just remain with root 5 minus 2 multiply to 5 or negative 5. So negative 5 times root 5 gives you negative 5 root 5. Negative 5 times negative 2 gives you positive 10. So remember that in indices, not in indices but in SAT, you collect the like terms. So ikiwa this is just one of the roots, a root b minus c root b is just equivalent to a minus c root b. So ukiona hapa zote roots ziko sawa, you just take the coefficients, subtract them. Utachukua 210 minus 5, which gives you 5 root 5 plus 10. Sawa. So na hapa chini waenda step by step. Root, so you just go root 5 times root 5 gives you 5, and root 5 times -2, it gives you -2 root 5. Remember, ikiwa uta multiply two roots that are equal inside, you just remove the roots and you just remain with that number. So itakupa hivi, see. And then the next step is to rationalize it. Now this is where you can rationalize it if you want. No, not if you want, but you need to rationalize it. So you have 5 minus 2 root 5. For you to rationalize, you usually rationalize the denominator. Uta rationalize ile denominator, ile ambayo iko chini si ile ambayo iko juu. And if you want to rationalize it, you multiply by its conjugate. So you multiply it by a similar number to it. But now what changes is just the sign. Hapa ni negative, hapa itakuwa ni positive. So as for the upper one, you also multiply by 5 plus 2 root 5. Hope I've been understood till there. So then you go the normal way. So 5 root 5 times 5, it gives you how much? It gives you 5 times 5, which is 25 root 5. So, and then 5 root 5 times 2 root 5. So 5 times 2 gives you 10. So that one is 10. Now root 5 times root 5 gives you 5. So times 5. So 10 times 5 is just 50. So then we go to 10 times 5, which gives you another 50. And then 10 times 2 root 5, which gives you 20 root 5. 10 times 20, 20 root 5. So, okay, now you have the denominator sasa, but here denominator. Now, and katika hii denominator is usually very easy to expand it, and usually it's not a must for you to do the way I did with the upper one. So for you to expand it, since they are similar, the only difference is the sign. You usually refer to it to the quadratic identity, to the third one, which is a plus b, a minus b, which is just similar to this. You get a squared minus b squared. So this is a difference of 2 squared. So hapa utafanya hivyo hivyo. You find the difference of these 2 squares. So utachukua 5 squared because your a is 5, and then you take minus 2 root 5 squared, that's your b squared. So you collect like terms for the upper region. 25 root 5 plus 20 root 5 is just 25 plus 20. It gives you 45 root 5. Don't add those roots. And 50 plus 50 automatically gives you 100 over. So 5 squared gives you 25 minus 2 squared is 4. Okay. And root 5 squared is 5. So let me just start with 100 plus 45 root 5 over 25 minus 20. So which gives you 100 plus 45 root 5 divided by 25 minus 20 is 5. Then each number you divide it by 5. 100 divided by 5 and 45 root 5 divided by 5. So 100 divided by 5 is 20. 45 divided by 5 is 9 root 5. And it should be in this form: a plus b. Your a is 20, your b is 9, and your c is 5. So this is your answer. Very simple answer. Now for question 5, I might not do it because I don't have the necessary equipment for now. So but what I know is that you need to just draw a tangent. Basically it might be like this, okay, something like that. But at the end of the day, and your answer might be pt, which is like around 3.7 centimeter. Okay, but this is just an estimate. But all in all, I'll try my level best if I can get time and download some tools that you use for drawing. But for now, I don't have the tools, so you'll bear with me. For question 6, which is very easy, make n the subject of the formula and the topic formula. So r over p equal to m over square root of n minus 1. Sawa, wacha tuchore line. Sawa, now n iko ndani ya square root, so ukiandika r over p equal to m over you have the square root of n minus 1. Sasa hiyo n minus 1 iko ndani ya square root, so let's remove that square so that n doesn't have anything outside. So we square this and also square this. Now if you square the first one, it gives you r squared over p squared. If you square the other one, pia itakuwa m squared, but hiyo nyingine itakuwa n minus 1. So you cross multiply, so p squared will cross multiply to m squared, so giving you m squared p squared, and for r squared you multiply to n minus 1, so equal to r squared over n minus 1. Sawa paka hapa. You can tend to open up if you want so r squared n minus r squared, so r squared times n, r squared times negative 1, so m squared p squared. Now this next step ni hiyo negative r squared waweza peleka the other side of the equation, so therefore giving you m squared p squared plus r squared, which is equal to r squared n, then divide by r squared, then divide by r squared. Your n therefore becomes m squared p squared plus r squared over r squared. I think that is easy, and that's how you do it. Okay, so that not that hard. So m squared p squared plus r squared over r squared. I don't think there's another way for doing. So this is basically the answer. So let's go to question 7. Question 7 now, therefore. Okay, expand 1 minus 3 over 10 x raised to power 5 in increasing powers of x, leaving the coefficients as fractions in their simplest form. So you can use your logarithm table, or you can use the calculator NCR. Okay, or you can use you can create your own table of 5. So for now, what I know is that coefficients for power 5 will be 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So let's start opening it up. I'm taking more space, and let me just write it somewhere here. So 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Tajua hapo bado space ni ndogo. Let me just write it here. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So now let's expand. So when you're expanding, kuna namba mbili, kuna 1 na kuna 3 over 10. So ile 1 utaanza na power 5, na ile negative 3 over 10 x utaanza na power 0. So ile 1 ita decrease to power 0, and the x, the negative 3 over 10x, will increase to power 5. So 1 itakuwa power 4 sasa, negative 3 over 10x power 1, then plus 1 power 3, negative 3 over 10x power 2, then 1 power 2 times negative 3 over 10x power 3, then 1 power 1 times negative 3 over 10x power 4, and the last one is 1 power 0 multiply to negative 3 over 10x power 5. So now when you open up this, it's usually easy. So it's usually very easy. So 1 power 5 itakuwa to 1, na ile power 0 itakuwa just 1. So 1 power 4 itakuwa ni 1 times negative 3 over 10x. Okay, times negative 3 over 10x, which gives you, it's just 1 minus 3 over 10x power 1. So usually the signs will be what do you call it? Okay, and the other one, so make sure you know this, so they'll be alternating. Ya kwanza ni positive, ya pili negative, ya tatu ni positive, that way. So the signs are alternating each other. So for the second one, we got negative 3 over 10x. For the third one, I think you get around positive 9 over 100x squared. The fourth one gives you negative 27 over 1000x cubed. For the other one, I think it's 81, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Yeah, it's 81. It's 81. So, but let me check. Negative 3 over 10 raised to power 4. Yeah, it is 81. So it gives you positive 81 over 10,000 x raised to power 4. Then you have the last one being negative 243 over 100,000 x to the power of 5. 100,000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, yeah, 100,000. So now let's find out the real answer. This is not your final answer. You need to multiply each one of them with their respective coefficients for now. So we'll multiply by 1 here, we'll multiply by 5, then we'll multiply by 10, then we'll multiply by 10 as well here, multiply by 5, then multiply by 1. So at the end of the day, your final answer will be like this. So is equal to, maybe let's say you write it just here, so it becomes 1 minus 3 over 10 times 5, which is 15 over 10. 15 over 10 is 3 over 2. So 1 minus 3 over 2x. Okay, then plus 9, I think it's 9 over 10x squared. Then minus, still the same thing, minus 27 over 100 x raised to power 3. Then plus 81 times 5. 81 divided by 10,000 times 5. Times 5, it gives you 81 over 2,000 x power 4. And the last one being, and then the last one, it should give you negative, just the same thing. So it gives you negative 243 over 100,000 x to the power of 5. So that's your final answer. So we haven't finished yet. Tutaingia hapa kwa swali la pili umeulizwa, hence use the first 3 terms of the expansion to estimate the value of 0.97. So let's use this one. 1 minus 3 over 10x to the power of 5 is equal to 0.97 to the power of, to the power of 5. Yeah, so we just drop the power, so you have 1 minus 3 over 10x. We just need to find what our x is. Okay, so let's bring this one here, this one here. So hapa ukipeleka on your left side itakuwa negative 0.97, ile itakuwa ni positive 3 over 10x. So this one gives you 0.03, which is equal to 3 over 10x. Okay, so 3 over 10x is around 0.3x. So if you divide it by 0.3, divide by 0.3, divide by 0.3, x yako ni 0.1. So 0.1. Yes, it is 0.1. So it gives you 0.1. So use the first 3 terms. The first 3 terms was 1 minus 3 over 10x plus 9 over 100x squared. Now, so you just substitute x with 0.1. So utaandika 1 minus 3 over 10 times 0.1 plus 9 over 100 multiplied by 0.1 squared. Na answer itakuwa ngapi? 3 over 10 3/10 times 0.1 plus 9/100 times 0.1 squared gives you around 0.9709, which is not the answer. What's the problem? This is no, yeah, this is not the answer because nimekosea mahali. Also, yeah, I did some mistake, nilichukua nyingine. So this one was not supposed to be 3/10. This one was not supposed to be 9/100. Okay, it should be, because the answer is this one, not the left one. So 1 minus 3/2 times 0.1 to 9 times plus 9/10. So this one will be 9/10, and this one will be 3/2. So let me just use my calculator, and it gives it 0.859, which is the actual answer. So ikiwa yani wataka confirm, kama wataka confirm, just take 0.97 power 5, angalia kama itakupa the same answer. So in my calculator nipa the same thing. So the answer is 0.859. Think mpaka hapa kimeeleweka. Question A. Grade A rice costing 250 shillings per kg is mixed with grade B rice costing 180 shillings per kg. In what ratio must grade A rice be mixed with grade B rice so that a profit of 20% is realized by selling the blend at 240 shillings per kg? Sawa mpaka hapo. Simple question. So grade A rice ina cost 250 shillings per kg. So hii ni grade A. Grade B, it costs 180 shillings. So you don't know the ratio in which it was mixed up. But what we know it is that he made a profit of 20%. So 120% now is equivalent to that 240 shillings. So you find for the cost price. So because in original form it was you use the cost price to mix those, and it gave you the cost per kg. So usually don't use the selling price. So you find the cost price, which is 100 divided by 120 times 240. So 100 divided by 120 times 240, which gives you 200. So itakupa 200 Kenya shillings. So there's a easy, kuna njia rahisi na kuna njia ndefu. The easiest way for you to get the ratio for grade A, wewe wajua ni 250. Now for grade B, you know it is that it is 180. So you use the X method. So the mixture should be 200. Okay. So now for the X method is quite easy, and it gives you the direct answer. So you take 250 minus 200, itakupa 50. Utachukua 200 minus 180, itakupa 20. So your ratio for A, the ratio of A to B will be 20:50. Now if you simplify it, it gives you 2:5. And that's the ratio of A to B. The other way you can use is this way. So 250 you multiply it to the ratio of X, which you don't know because it was mixing the ratio of X to Y. So multiply by X, then you take 180, multiply it to the ratio of Y, divide by the sum of those ratio, which is X plus 5, which is equivalent to 200 shillings. Then you cross multiply. So if you cross multiply, obviously this on your left side you get 250x plus 180y. On your right side it will give you 200 times x, which is 200x, 200 times y, which is 200y. Now collect the like terms. So the 200x comes this side, 180y comes this side. So 250x minus 200x equal to 200y minus 180y. So this one gives you 50x and this one gives you 20y. So let's divide by y. divide by y, ndio tutoe y hapa, and then divide by 50. Divide by 50 ndio tutoe hiyo 50. So your ratio x is to y, or x over y, will be 20:50. In short, the ratio will just be the same. So x is to y is just 2:5 again. So that's the first method. This is the second method. Whichever you'll use, you'll get a correct answer. So question 9. Solve the equation 2 sin squared x is equal to cos x plus 1 for 0 degrees, that is. So for values that range from 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So a very easy question. Okay, let's use this base. So now, usually the sine and the cos, there's a sine, there's a cos. So you can solve for two unknowns. Lazima utafute unknown moja ndio uweze kusolve. So there's a method that I'll use here, which is sin squared x is equal to 1 minus cos squared x. So pale ambapo kuna sin squared x, you convert it into 1 minus cos squared x. So ile 2 uta multiply by 1 minus cos squared x equal to cos x plus 1. So you open up the bracket, so itakuwa ni 2 minus 2 cos squared x equal to cos x plus 1. Sawa. Hii 2 peleka the other side, or okay, tuipeleke zote the other side, ile 2 pia tupeleke the other side. So utapata positive 2 cos squared x plus cos x. Sawa. Na ile 2 ukipeleka the other side itakuwa ni plus 1 minus 2, so which eventually becomes minus 1 equal to 0. And then utasema let cos x equal to any letter. Sawa, kwa sababu hii ni shida kuivunja. So pale ambapo kuna cos x utaika a. So for the first one ni 2 cos squared x, which is just 2a squared. Sawa, kama a ni cos x, a squared ni square ya cos x, which is cos squared x. So plus cos x, which is a, minus 1 equal to 0. So your sum ni hii number ambayo iko katikati, which is 1, and your product is 2 times -1, which is -2. So which are the two numbers that if you add them gives you 1, and if you multiply them gives you -2. So most probably is -2. No, I think it's 2 and -1. So it means that this one a utaivunja into 2 and -1. So utaandika 2a squared plus 2a minus a minus 1 equal to what? 0. Your common factor hapa na hapa ni 2a. Sawa. So utaandika 2a into bracket a plus 1. Common factor hapa na hapa ni -1. So utaandika a plus 1 equal to 0. So ukileta pamoja, it becomes 2a minus 1 into bracket a plus 1, which is equivalent to 0. So 2a minus 1 equated to 0. So itakuwa ni 2a equal to +1. Therefore a ukidivide na 2 divide by 2, your a will be 1/2. So ile nyingine ni a plus 1 also will equate to 0, so your a ni -1. So these are your 2a's, but bado sijapata x. So we say that cos x is equal to a. So let's take the first a, which is 1/2, which is 0.5. So always remember this key unit circle. So we have a, s, t, and c. Hapa ni a, which is theta. Hapa ni s, 180 minus theta. Hapa ni t, which is 180 plus theta. And c ni 360 minus theta. Now, when does your cos become positive? At which angle? It usually becomes positive when it's an acute angle, or if it belongs to the first quadrant or fourth quadrant. So we do x. For you to find x, utafanya cos inverse sasa ya 0.5. Na cos inverse ya 0.5 ni ngapi? Cos inverse ya 0.5 ni 60. So theta yako ni 60. Sawa? So uko na theta ambao ni 60. The first angle, the other angle ni 360 minus theta, which is 360 minus 60 ambao ni 300 degrees. So what about when it's -1? So cos x equal to -1. When it's cos negative, in the second and the third quadrant. So utafanya cos inverse ya 0 ya 1. Just ignore the negative for now, but no, that's it belongs to second and fourth third quadrant. So if you do cos inverse ya 1, okay, cos inverse ya 1 itakupa ya 0. So but remember ni 180 minus theta. So kama theta yako ni 0, 180 minus theta is just 180. Hata ukichukua 180 plus theta ni 180, so 180 degrees. So at 180 degrees utapata -1. So your answers will be this. Let me use another pen. So itakuwa ni 60, 180, then 300 degrees. So those are your 3 answers. So okay, we can continue from there. Question 10. Question 10, sorry for that. Now question 10, what does question 10 say? When we have 3 quantities, question 10, 3 quantities P, Q, and R are such that the square root of P varies directly as Q and inversely as R. Find the percentage change in R if Q decreases in the ratio 4:5 and P increases by 40%. Sawa hapo. Tuendelee. So umeambiwa said that the square root of P varies directly as Q and inversely as R. So yaandikwa hivi. So if you keep introduce a constant, itakuwa root P equal to K Q over R. So but let's make what do you call it? Let's make Q the subject of the formula. So let's make Q the subject of the formula. So y is multiplied by R, multiply na R. So equal to R root P equal to KQ. So then divide by K, then divide by K. So Q yako itakuwa ni R root P over K. So okay, find the percentage change. So this is usually 100%. So if Q decreases in the ratio 4:5 and P increases in the ratio, so which one increases usually? So I think it's better to write it like this. Okay, now I've understood how to write it. So instead of making R the subject, let's make R the subject instead of Q. So let's make R the subject. So R itaenda hapo, so itakuwa ni R root P equal to KQ. Then sasa uta divide na root P, then divide by root P. So itakuwa R is equal to KQ over root P. Sawa, ni easy. Kwa sababu zile ambazo za increase na decrease ni Q na P, na hapo swali muuliza find the percentage change in R. Sawa. So this is 100%. Now Q decreases in the ratio 4:5. It decreases in the ratio 4:5, which is 4/5. And 4/5 ni 0.8. So it's 0.8 KQ. So this is the new one. So and then P increases by 40%. So 100 plus 40 is 140%, which is 1.4. So over 1.4. But remember 1.4 equal na square root yake. So times root b. So hapa itakuwa ni 0.8 kq over square root of 1.4, which gives you 1.183 something. So 1.183 say 2. So let's take 0.8 divided by 1.1832. It gives you around 0.6761, acha tuandike nyingi, 13 kq over root b. Sawa, lakini kitu ambao ni muhimu tu ni kupata hii. Once ushajua hii coefficient yake, huwa ni rahisi baadaye. So your actual value is usually 100%, which is just 1. Sawa, so your original value is 1. So kama unataka kujua ime decrease ama increase, utachukua 1 minus the new one, which is 0.67613. Okay, divide by the original one, then multiply by 100. So 1 minus that. So 1 minus the answer gives you 0.32387 multiplied by 100 na fai kupe 32.389 sema hivyo. So hapa utaandika it decreases by 32.39%. So okay, question 11, also a very easy question. Mwambie a circle with center at 2, -2 passes through points A 2,4 and B 8,h. Find the equation of the circle in the form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where a, b and c are constants, hence determine the value of h. So let's find the radius for mwanzo. Sasa center umepewa na ukapewa one full point A. So if you want to get the radius, usually take ile x usemaje, x1 minus x2 then square, sio, plus y1 minus y2 square, then you find the square root of that. Hivi ndivyo tutatafuta magnitude. So wachukua 2 minus 2 then square plus -2 minus 4 then square. So then square root yake. So 2 minus 2 square hapa itakupa 0. Okay, minus 2 minus 4 itakupa minus 6, which if you square it itakupa positive 36. So gives you square root of 36, which is just 6 units. So hii ndo radius yako. Sawa. So hiyo radius itatusaidia pia kutafuta mambo mengine. Sawa. So we know our radius, and we also know that your equation generates from this x minus a squared plus y minus b squared, which is r squared. So your x value, we usually write it as unknown, so minus your center, which is 2 minus 2 squared plus y minus b, this is your a, this is your b, so y minus -2. At the end of the day itakupa 2y plus 2. So y plus 2 squared equal to r squared, which is 6 squared. Na 6 squared ni tayari tunajua ni 36. So equal to 36. So let's open it up. Hii ku open up ni rahisi sana. You square the first one, x uta square. To get the second digit utachukua x times -2 itakupa -2x, lakini -2x itapatikana mara mbili, so -2x times 2 itakuwa -4x, and the last one you square the last one, so -2 times -2 ni +4. So as for the other one also you do the same thing. So utafanya y squared, which gives you y squared, then wachukua 1 times 2, which is 2y, then times 2 itakupa 4y, then you square the last one, which is 2 times 2, which is 4, equal to 36. So now so 36 peleka the other side itakuwa ni minus 36. So let's collect the like term. So itakuwa ni x squared, kwa sababu umeambiwa in the form of x squared plus y squared, so x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 4y. So and then we have 4 plus 4, which is 8, then minus 36, equal to 0. Now 8 minus 36, 8 minus 36, I think is around 28. So hapa itakuwa negative 28. So hapa itakuwa negative 28. So hii ndo answer yako ya equation. But sasa hatujui h, kwa sababu hapa pia umeuliza tafuta h on 8,h. So 8,h pia you use the same thing. So center si wajua ni 2,-2 na ile b yetu wajua ni 8,h. Kutumia ile same formula ya kutafuta radius, how do you use it? Let's say wachukua t 2 minus 8, you take 2 minus 8, the same thing, x1 minus x2, then plus minus 2 minus h, then you square, it gives you a radius of 6 units. So it's also remember not to forget the square root. So 2 minus 8 ni negative 6 squared. You can open up, if you open up this one, it should give you around instead of doing this minus 2, let's use another approach, but still it will be the same thing. Let me use the other approach, because hivi itakuwa nimewakoroga katika ku expand. Okay, so let's say we do 8 minus 2. So, but still whichever one is still the same. 8 minus 2 squared, then plus h minus negative 2. So h minus negative 2 ni h plus 2 squared. Then we square root it. So hii itakuwa 6 squared, which is just 36. So this one becomes 36. Na hile h plus 2 tumesema you square the first one, itakupa h squared, you take h times 2, itakupa 2h times 2 tena, itakupa 4h, na utachukua square ya 2, which is 4. Okay, and then the square root thingy, so equal to 6. Let's remove the square root by squaring it. So hapa on the right side you squared it, itakuwa ni 36, na ile on your left side itakuwa 36 plus h squared plus 4h plus 4. Collect the like terms. So itakuwa ni h squared plus 4h, 36 plus 4 ni 40, then 36 ile on the right side ipeleke the other side, itakuwa ni minus 36, which is equal to 0. So at the end of the day itakupa h squared plus 4h plus 4, which is equal to 0. So let's find out a sum product. Sum yetu ni 4, product yetu ni 4 pia. So which two numbers? It's just 2 and 2. Sawa, ni 2 and 2. But basically nishajua hata tayari ni ngapi. So it's just 2 and 2. So as a result, if you factorize, itakuwa 2h plus 2 times h plus 2, which is equal to 0. So at the end of the day h yako ni moja tu, which is 2 equal to -2. Sawa, okay, nadhani mpaka hapa tumeelewana, tushapata h sasa. Okay, let's continue question 12. So question 12 kama kawaida yetu yasema 9 students scored some marks in a test. The deviations of the scores from the mean were 5, -2, 2, 1, z, -3, -2, -4 and 0. Given that the mean of the scores was 13, find z and the quartile deviation. Sorry, rahisi sana tena sana. So there's one thing that you should know, and that is the sum of those deviations is always equal to 0. No matter what you do, if you add them all up, it should equate to 0. So the summation of x minus your mean or the deviations will always equal to 0. So now if I take 5, add it to -2, add it to 2, add to 1, add to z, which I don't know, add to -3, add to -2, add to -4, and then add to 0, it will always give me 0. Now add these numbers up. So add the numbers up. 5 plus -2 is just 5 minus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus -3, okay, plus -2, and then plus -4. So I wish so I hope I haven't left anything there. So 1, 2, 3, okay, yeah, so it gives me -3. So I have z minus 3, which is equal to 0. So if I migrate this -3 to the other side, it becomes z equal to +3. Okay, so now let's find out the marks, the real marks for each student. Now we just found out what z is, so let's find out the marks for each student. Now for you to get the marks, you just basically take your deviations plus the mean itself. So for example, I'll take 5, add to 13, okay, then I'll take -2, add to 13, then take 2, add to 13, then take 1, add to 13, then z, our z is now 3, so 3, add to 13, then -3, add to 13, and then I'll take -2, add to 13, and then -4, add to 13, and 0, add to 13. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you know your value, which is x minus your mean is just equal to deviation. So in case of your x value, just take your deviation plus the mean itself. So in which I'm doing the same thing with this question. So 5 plus 13 inakupa 18, gives you 18. The other one gives you 11, it gives you 15, it gives you 14, 16, 10, then 11, then 13 minus 4, which is 9, then positive 13. Now if you arrange it in order, because we are searching for quartile deviation, you need to arrange it from the smallest to the largest. So therefore your smallest number being 9, followed by 10, followed by 11, followed by another 11, followed by 12. We don't have 12, but instead we have 13, followed by 14, 15, 16, then 18. How many numbers are those? Hopefully it should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just likewise, that's the one we were given. So 9 numbers in total. Now once you've got to arrange these numbers, now let's find out which is our middle number. Okay, which is our middle number. Now our median, that is. So this cancel out. So we find the median number. So our median number is 13. Now from 13 we have the left side and the right side. Tuko na ile ya right na tuko na ya left. Sasa on the left side, which is 9, 10, 11 and 11, tutafuta median yake. So tukiangalia hapa, this cancels, we just remain with 10 and 11, na hapo tutafuta a median pia, which is 10 plus 11 divided by 2. Since there are two numbers, we find the average of those two. So 10 plus 11 divided by 2, it gives you 10.5. For the other one, also search for the middle number, and it gives you two numbers, so find the average of those two. So 15 plus 16 divided by 2, 31 divided by 2, it gives you 15.5. Am I correct? It should be correct. 31, 15 plus 16, then divided by 2, yeah, it's 15.5. So this one should be 15.5. The next step is for us to find out our quartile deviation, which is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So this one is usually Q1, your lower quartile. As for this one, is usually your Q3. So there's the first quarter, there's the third quarter. So ndio maana tukatafuta median on the third quarter, the first quarter tukatafuta median yake. So it give you Q1 and also give you Q3. So Q3, which is 15.5, minus your Q1 10.5 divided by 2, it should give you 5 divided by 2, which is just 2.5. So that's your answer. Simple as that. So let's continue from there. So now we have another question, and that is question 13. Now the question says the position vectors of A and B are OA, which is 3, negative 2, negative 4, and OB, which is 4, 5, negative 2, respectively, given that point X divides AB externally in the ratio 3:2. So X divides externally the ratio 3:2. So the ratio of AX to XB will be 3:2. So the summation of those ratios should be 3 plus negative 2, which is 1. Sawa, si ngumu hivyo bwana, sikushtua. So the next step is quite easy. So now what you need to do for you to get X or your OX or X, you usually take this negative 2 multiply to your OA, then plus 3 multiply to your OB. Basically they're just like exchanging or interchanging. So here 3 usually you're multiplying it to B, and the negative 2 you're multiplying to A. So negative 2 OA, which is negative 2, multiply to 3 negative 2 negative 4. So and the 3 OB, which is 3 times OB or B, it is 4, 5, and negative 2. Okay, let's continue. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 2 gives us positive 4. Negative 2 times negative 4 gives us negative 8. Okay, now 3 times 4 gives us 12. 3 times 5 gives us 15. 3 times negative 2 gives us negative 6. Now if you add them up, negative 6 plus 12 gives you 6. 5, 15 plus 4 gives you 19, and minus 8 minus 6 gives us minus 14. So, but that's not your final answer. Umeambiwa find X, and X is equal to X minus A. So X yako tayari tushapata 6, 19, negative 14, minus your A, which is OA, which is 3, negative 2, and negative 4. So 6 minus 3 gives us 3. 6, 19 minus negative 2 gives us positive 21, and negative 14 minus negative 4 it should give us around -10. So I have 21 and 6. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, I forgot something. -2 times -4 gives us +8, not negative position. So this one should be +8. So 8 minus 6 gives us around 2. Okay, 8 minus 6 gives us 2. So this one is 2. This one should be 2. So 2 minus -4 should give us 6. So the answer is 3, 21 and 6. Very simple answer. Okay, let's go to question 14, and we're nearing the end. Question 14 says an object of area 12 centimeters square is mapped onto an image of area 144 centimeters square by the transformation matrix, which is M number one, P11, -3, P -10. Okay, so now let's find our determinant first. Our determinant is given by our main, what do you call this, diagonal minus the other diagonal. So P times P minus 10, then minus, okay, so minus -3 times 11. So P times P squared minus 10 times P minus 10P, and this one gives us minus 33. So minus and minus, if you open up the bracket, eventually becomes positive 33. So this is our determinant. Okay, so our determinant is usually equal to our area scale factor. So our area scale factor, and what is our area scale factor, is given by the area of the image over the area of the object. So our area of the image is 144 divided by area of the object, which is 12. It gives you 12 itself. So here 12 now is what you equate it to, that P squared minus 10P plus 33. So what hapo andika P squared minus 10P plus 33 is equal to 12. The 12, bring it to the other side of the equation, it gives you P squared minus 10P plus 33 minus 12, which is 21, equal to 0. So always make sure your expression or equation should be in form of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So what's your summation? Your summation is -10. Your product is 21. Which are your two numbers? Numbers zako mbili ni gani? If you add, it gives you -10. If you multiply, it gives you 21. So which are your two numbers? I think it's -7 and -3. So if you factorize, very easy to factorize. Just take P minus 7 and the other one becomes P minus 3, which is equal to 0. So the first one, P ya kwanza ni P equal to 7. Because P minus 7 equal to 0, so the -7 just migrates it to the other side. P minus 7 is equal to 0, so P itakuwa ni +7. And also for -3, P minus 3 equal to 0, so P equal to +3. So P equal to 7 and P equal to 3. So two answers. Question 15, approaching the end. Question 15 says the cash price of motorcycle is 80,000 shillings. Katana bought the motorcycle on hire purchase by paying some amount of deposit followed by 10 equal monthly installments of 8,533 shillings. So remember, in these installments we already have compound interest in it. Given that 2% per month compound interest was charged on the balance, calculate the amount of deposit Katana paid to the nearest shillings. So to the nearest shillings, very easy. So what we know, that amount is equal to principal multiplied by 1 plus r over 100 power n. So this is something that you should put it aside. Okay, now in you've been told 10 equal monthly installments, so each month he had to pay 8,533. So our total monthly installments will be how much? Total monthly installments will be 10 times 8,533. So this is the one which had compound interest in it. So it gives you 5,330 Kenya shillings. So using this rule, which is P into bracket 1 plus R over 100 power n, our amount is basically 85,330. We don't know our principal, but we know that that principal is multiplied to 1 plus R over 100. So our rate here is 2% per month. Okay, 2% per month. And for how many months? It's for 10 months. Okay, so very simple. So you get 85,330 equal to P times 1 plus 2 over 100 is 1.02. 1.02 raised to power 10. So if I had to find for only P, so P becomes divided by 1.02 power 10 divided by 1.02 power 10. So P is 85,330 divided by 1.02 power 10. Umeona rahisi sana wala si ngumu. Sasa utapata vipi answer baada hapo? So utachukua 85,330 divided by 1.02 power 10. Sawa, na itakupa 70,000. Sawa, itakupa 70,000 Kenya shillings. So hii ndio pesa ambayo yafaa alifaa kuregesha wakati huo, lakini hakuregesha na hii pesa hii pesa ikazidi kula interest, yani kila saa yaongezeka tu yaongezeka. Yani just imagine, yani wewe walipa 85,330 badala ya kulipa 70,000. So our principal is usually your cash price. I think it's minus deposit. So ile ulifaa kulipa ni 70,000. So kama unataka kutafuta deposit, it's just basically your cash price minus your principal. So your cash price was 80,000 minus your principal, it was 70,000. So it gives you 10,000 Kenya shillings as your deposit. So wewe ulifaa ulipe 70,000 as the installments. So na pesa yote ni 80,000. So ukalipa 10,000 as deposit, but 70,000 tended to increase as the month grew by. So okay, that's question 15, and this is the last question, which is question 16. So question 16, the curve below represents a cooling curve of a substance X, which you've seen it here. Calculate the average rate of cooling between T equal to 1 and T equal to 7. So T equal to 1. So T equal to 1. Where is our 1? Our 1 is most probably here. So let's just draw a line. Okay. T equal to 1. So our T equal to 1, most probably our Y will be here. So our Y, which is, let's see, 20 divided by 5, 4, 64, 68, 68, 72, yeah. So this is around 72. So, and T equal to 7 hours. So 7 hours is basically here. So it's around here. So it's around here, which is, let's say it should be around 80, or this is 4, 4, 8, then we have 12, then we have 16. So it's 16. So happen is 16. So average rate of cooling is usually kama vile gradient hivi. It's just the gradient here of that thing. So you'll take 72 minus 16, which is kama to change in y over change in x. So it takes 72 minus 16 divided by 7 minus 1. So 72 minus 16 ni ngapi? Gives us 56 divided by 6. So which is 9.333 degrees Celsius per hour, something like that. So all in all, that's your answer. Okay, that's all. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel. Just subscribing just means that you follow the channel. Kwa maana nimekuandikia mara mbili hapa. Also don't forget our tuition classes, especially wale ambao wako grade 9. Hao ndo wanataka zaidi, because if you have someone in grade 9, then you can refer him to me. So also for Form 1 to Form 4 pia nahitaji. Form 4 especially, you have your KCSE is very near, so just don't forget to contact me from that number above. So with that, if you missed the section 2 of this paper, then I'll link it. I'll leave a playlist at the end of the video. You watch it, you click it, and then you refer to it. So with that all, I just want to greet you again by saying greeting, or is it ma'asalam? Okay, ma'asalam. So wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.